Okay, so as Tina mentioned, I'm Jessi, and if we've met, you probably know I'm a designer and I have like a specific fondness for color, particularly rainbows. And you probably also know that I'm a very enthusiastic, very happy person. Like, I'm one of those annoyingly happy people. I am stupidly happy. I walk down the street and I think that I'm actually in my own music video, and but I wasn't always this way. In fact, I spent a lot of my teens and the early part of my 20s as a pretty unhappy person. So I wanted you guys to know that, and I wanted you to know that sometimes I was so unhappy that I couldn't even get out of bed to go to school or to go to work. And at one point, I was in a counseling session with a school counselor, and she said something to me that really stuck with me to this day because I can still remember her face when she said it. And so when Tina said that she'd like us to share a piece of advice that maybe we'd been given that impacted us, I landed on this. And so we were in a session and we were discussing the root of this unhappiness. And it seemed that, like most unhappiness, it was coming back to fear. I was afraid. I was afraid particularly about not knowing what the future held for me. I needed to make decisions. Should I keep my job? Should I quit my job? Should I even be in this career of design that I'd chosen where there was no set path for me? And the irony of the situation is that my fear of making a decision that would make me unhappy in the future was making me unhappy in the present. And she said to me, "Did you ever think that maybe the not knowing the future is what makes life exciting? Did you ever think that not knowing might be what makes life beautiful?" And I had a whiplash moment where I couldn't believe that there might actually be people out there who thought it was a good thing to wake up and not know what that day held for them. But 10 years ago, yourself of the future can tell you now that there are those people and that you are now one of them. And that embracing that ambiguity has made life really beautiful. And I would just pose the question to you, have you had moments in the past year of your life where something had happened to you and you would not have been able to predict it, but it turned out for the better? Like meeting somebody like Tina. That's something that I couldn't have predicted. And most of the people that are sitting right here that spoke tonight, I wouldn't have been able to tell you in that counseling session that they would have been a part of my life and that they would have made my life better. But if you are a person who is smart and you are a person who can roll with the punches, then the future doesn't hold anything that you can't handle. So here's my bit of advice. Crystal balls are overrated. The future's going to be okay as long as you're you. Thank you very much.